application called Extreme Budget. The purpose of it is to take an application that will take the user's incomes, calculate appropriate amounts to be spent in different expenses. The purpose of this is to help new college graduates who aren't very accustomed to the working world, transition by showing them what appropriate amounts are to be spent in different ways. This is just the project architecture. As you can see, it incorporates C++ as well as Java code. This will be shown in further detail later in our code. This is just a description of exactly what we did. Marketability. This application is limited to employees that make roughly $40,000 to $65,000. Included are states including Massachusetts and New York, to show that this application does have the potential to grow into different states. This is just an example.
This is our GUI. As you can see, it starts out with a drop-down menu that you can choose whatever state that you'll be using. Currently it's set on Massachusetts. And then next is the expected yearly salary, and this is just the user inputs to determine the calculations. And then below that is if the user plans on driving to work, then it requires the distance to the workplace and then the miles per gallon that their car can take, and then those are also taken into consideration. Once those inputs are submitted, you press the submit button, and then it changes these text views. Unfortunately, they were not able to correctly link these together, but with a little bit more time, that issue should be resolved. This is our C++ code. This is the back end of the project. So what we have here is we're starting out with state.cpp, and what state.cpp is our base class. And so in our base class, we just can instantiate state, and then the main things that are in this class is the federal taxes and salary and such, and the federal withholdings, and that's constant throughout the nation. So that's why we chose that as the base class. Next, for the states, we have New York.cpp, and that's just the derived class. The derived class of state, as you can see right here, and what this calculates is the state tax. That's most important. That's the one that is unique throughout each different derived class. And then after it calculates the state tax, it also calculates the take-home salary after all the taxation, and then it calculates the rent and the savings. In our New York.cpp, you can see the various functions that we have, such as get my rent and get my gas, and we've as you can see, we've linked these functions with the GUI through the JNI, and all of these do work properly. And this is our main activity.java. So here are all the functions methods that are in the library for our project. And then up here is when we call those methods and functions. And this is our Android app, Extreme Budget. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope you enjoy our app.